the singing whales." "I don't hear anything," said Jack, pressing the underwater microphone against the side of the small research boat. His cousin Marina, visiting for the summer, waited patiently beside him. They had been drifting in this same spot off the coast of Maui for nearly an hour. "Give it time," said Jack's mother, Dr. Elena Rodriguez, a marine biologist specializing in whale communication. "Humpbacks don't perform on schedule." It was Marina's first time visiting Hawaii, and Jack had promised her she would hear the famous whale songs his mother studied. But so far, the underwater speaker connected to their hydrophone had produced only the gentle sounds of water and distant boat motors. Marina tried to hide her disappointment. At 12 years old, she was too polite to complain, especially since Aunt Elena had taken a rare day off from her research to take them out on this special trip. "Maybe we should move to another spot," Jack suggested. At 10, he was less patient than his cousin. "5 more minutes," his mother replied, studying the tracking app on her tablet. "There's a pod that was spotted heading this way earlier." Suddenly, the speaker crackled, and a faint, haunting sound emerged. A series of moans, chirps, and complex calls that rose and fell in pitch. "That's them." "Roar!" Rodriguez exclaimed, quickly adjusting the volume. "Humpback whales, probably about 2 miles away." Marina's eyes widened as the sounds grew louder and more complex. What had started as simple moans transformed into an intricate symphony of vocalizations, some parts repeating in patterns, others changing and evolving. "It's like music," Marina whispered. "That's exactly what it is," Dr. Rodriguez nodded. "These are male humpbacks singing their songs. It's one of the most complex vocal displays in the animal kingdom." As they listened, she explained how male humpbacks in the same region all sing roughly the same song, but the song itself gradually changes over time, with new elements added and others dropped. "The really amazing thing," she continued, "is that these songs can travel for miles underwater. Sound moves about 4 times faster in water than in air, and it can travel much farther too." "How far?" Jack asked, though he'd probably heard the answer before. "Under the right conditions, whale songs can travel hundreds of miles," his mother replied. "Sometimes even over 1,000 miles in the deep sound channel." Marina looked skeptical. 1,000 miles. That's like from here to California. Dr. Rodriguez smiled. "The ocean is an amazing conductor of sound. Unlike light, which gets absorbed quickly underwater, sound waves can travel enormous distances, especially at certain depths where temperature and pressure create perfect conditions for sound transmission." The whale songs were growing louder now, indicating the pod was getting closer. "Let's drop the underwater viewing scope." "Dar," Rodriguez suggested, pulling out what looked like a long tube with a clear window at the bottom. She carefully lowered it into the water and invited Marina to look first. Marina gasped as she peered through the scope. About 50 feet away, she could see the massive, dark shape of a humpback whale, its long pectoral fins spread wide as it gracefully moved through the blue water. As she watched, the whale opened its mouth slightly, and bubbles escaped. "Is that one singing now?" she asked, not wanting to lift her eyes from the magnificent sight. "Probably," Dr. Rodriguez said. "When they sing, they often float suspended in the water, sometimes releasing bubbles as they vocalize." Jack took his turn at the viewing scope while Marina returned to listening to the hydrophone. The songs seemed to have distinct sections, some with high squeaky sounds followed by deeper rumbles. "Why do they sing?" Marina asked. "That's a great question, and one we're still studying," Dr. Rodriguez replied. We know male humpbacks do most of the singing, usually during breeding season. It might be to attract females, to establish territory, or to communicate with other males, possibly all three. She pulled up a visualization app on her tablet that showed the sound waves in colorful patterns as they arrived. Each whale has its own voice, just like humans do. We can often identify individuals by their unique vocal signatures. As they continued listening, Dr. Rodriguez explained more about whale communication. Whales don't just sing. They use different types of vocalizations for different purposes. There are feeding calls, traveling calls, and social sounds for keeping the pod together. Like when mom calls you for dinner. Jack teased Marina. More sophisticated than that, Dr. Rodriguez laughed. But yes, some calls essentially mean food here or follow me. Marina was fascinated. How do you study the songs if the whales are moving around so much? We use hydrophones like this one, but we also have fixed underwater listening stations in key locations. Dr. Rodriguez explained. Some of my colleagues even attach temporary suction cup tags to whales that record their sounds and movements. Just then, something incredible happened. A massive humpback whale breached the surface less than 100 feet from their boat. Its enormous body completely clearing the water before crashing back with a tremendous splash that rocked their small vessel. Whoa! Both children exclaimed in unison. That was a breach, Dr. Rodriguez said, quickly grabbing her camera. It's another form of communication, a physical one. The sound of that splash can be heard for miles underwater. As if responding to the first whale, another humpback breached slightly farther away, followed by a third. They're talking to each other, Marina whispered in awe. For the next half hour, they were treated to an incredible display. Whales breaching, slapping their massive tails, see flukes on the water surface, and peck slapping with their long fins. All the while, the underwater songs continued, creating a multi-sensory conversation the children could both hear and see. During a quieter moment, Dr. Rodriguez explained more about sound in the ocean. The underwater world is full of natural sounds. Snapping shrimp, fish calls, rain hitting the surface. Even the movement of currents creates what we call ambient noise. She switched the hydrophone to a different frequency, and they could hear a persistent crackling sound. That's thousands of tiny shrimp snapping their claws. She explained. No, listen to this. She played a recording that sounded like deep, rhythmic moaning. Those are fin whales. Their calls are among the lowest frequency sounds made by any animal, sometimes below what humans can hear. But if ocean sound travels so well, Marina wondered, don't all these noises get mixed up? How can the whales hear each other? Another excellent question. Dr. Rodriguez nodded approvingly. Different species use different frequency ranges, almost like radio channels. Baleen whales like humpbacks and fins use lower frequencies that travel farther. Toothed whales like dolphins and orcas use higher frequencies for shorter range communication and echolocation. What's echolocation? Jack asked. It's like natural sonar, his mother explained. Dolphins and toothed whales send out clicking sounds that bounce off objects in the water. By listening to the echoes, they can see, using sound, detecting fish to eat, obstacles to avoid, and other dolphins to swim with even in complete darkness or murky water. Marina was quiet for a moment, listening to the continuing whale songs. It sounds so clear underwater, much clearer than if they tried to call through the air. That's because water is denser than air, Dr. Rodriguez said. Sound waves need a medium to travel through. They can't move in a vacuum like light can. The denser the medium, the more efficiently sound travels. That's why whales can communicate over such vast distances. She looked troubled for a moment. Unfortunately, human activities are making it harder for whales to hear each other. Ship engines, military sonar, oil exploration. They all create underwater noise pollution that can mask whale communications or even cause physical harm. That's terrible, Marina said. What can we do about it? We're working on solutions. Dar, Rodriguez assured her. Some shipping companies are designing quieter propellers. Military operations can be planned to avoid key whale habitats. And research like mine helps identify critical acoustic habitats that need special protection. As the afternoon progressed, the whale activity began to diminish. The massive animals were moving on, their songs fading gradually over the hydrophone. Before we head back, Dr. Rodriguez said, "I want to show you something cool." She took out what looked like a metal rod with a round end and dipped it into the water, holding the other end against the side of the boat. "Put your ear against the hull, right here." When Marina did so, she was startled to hear the whale's songs much more clearly than through the speaker. The sound is traveling through the water, into the metal rod, through the boat hull, and straight to your ear, Dr. Rodriguez explained. No electricity, no amplifier, just the efficient transmission of sound waves through different materials. "It's like the whales are right next to me," Marina whispered, not wanting to move her ear from the spot. On the journey back to shore, Marina was unusually quiet, still processing everything she had experienced. As they approached the harbor, she finally spoke up. "Aunt Alina, how did you get interested in whale songs?" Dr. Rodriguez smiled. "When I was about your age, my science teacher played a recording of humpback songs in class. I was completely captivated. I couldn't believe these enormous animals created such complex music. I started reading everything I could find about whales, volunteered at a marine center in high school, and eventually studied marine biology in college. I think I might want to do that too." Marina said thoughtfully. "Study whale sounds, I mean." "You'd make an excellent marine bioacoustician," Dr. Rodriguez said. "That's the fancy name for someone who studies animal sounds in the ocean." "Bioacoustician," Marina repeated, testing the word. "I like that." That night, as Marina lay in bed at her aunt and cousin's house, she could still hear the haunting whale songs in her mind. She downloaded a whale song app on her tablet and was listening through headphones, trying to identify the different patterns Dr. Rodriguez had explained. The idea that these magnificent animals were communicating across vast ocean distances, singing to each other, coordinating hunts, finding mates, protecting their young, all through sound waves traveling through the water. It seemed like a kind of magic. Scientific magic, but magic nonetheless. Just before falling asleep, Marina made a decision. Her science project next year wouldn't be about volcanoes as she'd planned. Instead, she would build a model demonstrating how sound travels differently through air, water, and solids. And maybe, just maybe, this was the first step toward becoming Dr. Marina Chen, whale song specialist. In her dreams that night, she swam alongside enormous humpbacks, understanding their songs as clearly as human speech. A symphony of underwater communication that spanned the oceans and connected these gentle giants across thousands of miles of blue water. Sound and whale learning activities drew one. Make a simple hydrophone using a piezoelectric disc and waterproof materials to listen to underwater sounds in a pool or lake too. Demonstrate sound wave propagation by placing a ticking clock in water versus air and comparing how far away you can hear it. 3. Create a string telephone to show how sound travels through solids better than through air. 4. Research different whale species and create a chart showing their communication methods and frequency ranges. 5. Use online resources to listen to and compare recordings of different whale species vocalizations.